Right, so this is the second of two cheater vids I found in my CNC archives folder. This one is just between Nate and Nick as Laser and Nuke, and their opponents, Sandpiper and Mr. Black Market. One is playing as Toxin, other as Stealth. The other cheater vid is available for those that didn't see it, by the way. As mentioned in the prior vid, there sometimes are special match rules agreed to ahead of time to instill a better game. In this particular match, the rule is no super weapons, with the notable exception of the nuke upgrade. And the way that works is there is an upgrade only accessible after building a nuke. So it's understood that a player playing as China will get the upgrade once it gets forwarded, and then properly sell that nuke. So what's going on here is the middle boundary is established. Generally speaking, whoever grabs that center tower on the north and south wins the middle ground and the extra resources. And you could almost claim Nick and Nate have the game just with that, but it's not always the case. As far as rules beyond the super weapon bit, as far as I know, there's no 5-minute no rush here. But attacking this early on this longer map would just stretch your units too thin for effectiveness. So it's makes for a good natural fighting map. So yeah, Nate's got his power going for laser turrets, which are a really robust defense, especially when he starts layering them. I think he goes like 3 deep on this one. And then China defense is the nuke, Gatling cannon defense. Okay, right, so the first clue that something's up here is notice how Sandpiper is aligning their black markets on the edge with considerable middle area. And know that the building that many all at once prefaces they didn't spend much on attack units, whereas black markets isn't set up the same, so they may not have been in on the scam at once. If they were, this may have gone a different way. But this is not something Nate or Nick would have necessarily picked up in. So yeah, here's the nuke I mentioned, just for the upgrade. This will also have been mentioned prior to the match, just to ease concerns for new players. I mean, a new player might see the nuke missile go up and think, oh, they broke the rules. But no, this would have been clearly established at the beginning of the match. And yeah, you see there's really not much in the way of defensive units or defensive buildings. And there it goes. So right there you can see the Scud. So the same rule does not apply to the Scuds. There's only one reason to build that Scud, and that's to violate the rules. So Nate and Nick don't really know. Well, they do now. Now you can see that the Scud Storm timer is up, so they're well aware they've been had at this point. And they'll have to start switching tactics. And you can see the teal smoke off of that, so Nick has went ahead and started marking where the Scuds are, because he's going to cloak them after the fact and slow them up. So at this point, they have to move fast to rally a mass attack force and get in there. As there's a convenient timer, that's how long they have to get it done. So a little less than 4.5 minutes to break through whatever they have and start knocking out the Scuds. Yeah, it seems Black Market is still pecking at Nick's defenses, where you can see Sandpiper completely abandoned any notion of fighting the units. It's all his money went into those, to forwarding all the Scuds. Which there's only one now. Oh, yeah, here you can see the whole list. So yeah, it's on at this point, and it's unlimited super weapons. So yeah, Nate and Nick have both combined forces to go directly at Sandpiper, as I presume most of these Scuds are in that facility, in that region. And you can see up here in the upper right, Nick has started to build nukes. There's no reason to hold back at this point. Key to ensuring their use, though, is killing the Scuds that can be launched ahead of time. So you can see there's a few minutes lead time that the Scuds have. So those Scuds go off, that can basically put them out of the game. The Scuds are 1-to-1, just way more devastating than the nuke. So they have to ensure they get them out very promptly. So not be too much to assume that if the Scuds get launched, those nuke missiles won't be around to be launched. So here you have the earliest is 1 minute, and it just got taken out. So that bought them one additional minute here. The laser tank, Avenger, the gliders. In fact, is cheap to deploy. Well, not cheap to deploy, but it's easy to implement it. So I was looking at this. The EMP doesn't stop the Scud timer. The Scuds don't run on power at all. But the microwave tank is effectively stopping the countdown timer, so that's a bit of an effect for buying those precious seconds. Not that it matters too much, because they were right there and able to take out those in particular Scuds. But at this point, they are going to be able to get... Nick's going to be able to get his nukes off before the Scud gets launched. So it could be gleaned at this stage. They likely have a game right here. They could stop and let them do their thing. I think they could bounce back at this point. So they've completely cleaned out Scuds, or Sandpipers. Basically. And now, yeah, they're using the nukes in combat at this point. So, yeah, it's pretty inevitable at this point, I think. And as you see, they did get a Scud off. So I wasn't sure from watching this replay where that was going. I was searching out and about the other buildings in the back, but it looks like you can see the residue right there on the ground. They tried to take out units that were attacking them. And I think it was more of a swing and a miss, because you can see off to the left, Nate's forces are still there, and Nick still has his China forces. So it's over at this point. I mean, they have 5 nukes, and it's obviously over.
You are victorious.
That's how it goes. And so the moral of our story here is follow the rules for which we agreed to, and you'll have a more exciting and fair match. If you haven't seen it yet, do go check out the first cheater vid. Goes into the 5-minute no rush issue. Thank you all for stopping by.